question because I've always been in the background.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, I'm not the one that's seeking the attention. Not saying others are, but that's just not what I'm about. I want to do the work.
Right.
So now I've been elevated where we can do the work,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's all I want.
So Miss Coleman, what even planted the seed in you to just want to be a part of education in this way?
Seeing children that were underserved. Um, some people know the story about how I became a board member. Was the Dunbar Elementary School in Orange Mound
Mm-hmm.
was in the process of being closed. And I did my research. You know, first of all, you're getting ready to send kids across Lamar or having to walk across Park Avenue and just different little things. And then some of the FCI reporting were not complete or were not accurate. And when we tried to talk to people about it, nobody could talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to represent people. You know, everybody's voice cannot be heard at one time. So I wanted us to have a voice. And I ran on hold me accountable. If you know something's wrong, talk to me.
Right.
And we're going to work through it. And
Right.
that's what I've tried to do for the last 6.5 years.
6.5 years.
Yes, sir.
And when you first started being board chair, it had never crossed your mind? It had it been a thought, or you was
Never.
wow.
Never. I mean, last time somebody asked me about being chair or being vice chair, and I was like, if it's my will, if it's God's will, I'll do it. But I just want to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go be a crossing guard.
Right.
I want to serve lunch when there's less help in the cafeteria.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't go in the room and teach, but I want to be able to go in there. I've gone in and graded papers. I mean, you know,
traffic. Didn't you do crossing guard?
I've been crossing guards. I've been soccer mom. I've read things like that are important.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
good to be in the limelight, but sometimes it's even better to be behind the scenes.
Right. And being behind the scenes allows you to see a lot of things that people from the outside don't get an opportunity to see. But a lot of times it's the people from the outside that's, why don't y'all do this? Why don't y'all do that? Not knowing it's a process.
It's a process.
Everything that goes through. And what are some of the things that we can do to help the board members, help board chair? Because I don't feel that as a community, some people do and some people don't. But how can we help make the process go better for our board members, board chair, and so on, superintendent?
First, you got to realize it's a process, as you stated.
Yes, ma'am.
And everything that we do has to go according to policy. We can't just wake up today and say everybody wear blue. It's
Right.
written in policy.
Yes, ma'am.
We have to follow the policy. That's what messes us up. And then we got to realize that there's a governance. We are one level of the governance, the superintendent is another. We shouldn't step over into her part, and sometimes she does have to come over into our part, but we have to know where the line in the sand, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying,
ma'am.
is, so we don't cross that line.
Mm-hmm.
And once we do that and we work together, it's going to be some changes made for our children, our
Yes, ma'am.
educators, and our buildings.
And with it being a process and with it dealing with so many different board members and different personalities, how hard is it to make that? Because it's not all roses and peaches and cream. We're going to agree. We're going to disagree. We're going to agree. That comes with the job. But how hard is it to like know everybody's boundaries?
So far, it's not been too hard.
Good.
Because I'm learning. And you got to realize we have 4 new board members.
Yes, ma'am.
That really just getting their feet in the water. They haven't even gotten their feet wet yet.
Yes.
That we have to learn, like you said, we can disagree, but we got to come together and know why we're disagreeing.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like we can agree, but why are we agreeing?
Right.
Don't agree because that's the okay thing to do.
Right.
Don't disagree because I'm friends with Joyce and this is what she said.
Yes.
We have to know. And at the end of the day, everything that we do has to be based on one thing: what's good for the children.
Yes, ma'am.
If it's not good for the children, it's not good for me to vote for. That's how I see it.
So, and let me ask you this because I know you do a lot behind the scenes. Kind of tell the people how much that means to a child when they see somebody other than their teacher or a board member or superintendent. How much is that to a child when they see someone come in and sit down with them, spend some time with them, maybe let them ask questions and things like that?
Oh, it's very important. Our children are eager to learn. I don't know what the myth is that children are not learning today,
Yes, ma'am.
but just to show them some extra love, is I know it's a process. You have to do certain things, but sign up. Go get a volunteer badge. Go into a school and read. Go into a
Yeah.
school and sit in the cafeteria.
Yes, ma'am.
When they dismiss, go outside and be a crossing guard. I mean, I'm not telling you to do something that I have not done.
Right.
But these things make a difference. And when you see these same little kids, some of these same young adults in the grocery store,
Yes, ma'am.
they remember you and you may not remember them.
Wow.
I've had children come up to me, hug me. You came to my school.
See?
It makes a difference. Our children want to be, they want to be hardcore and
Yes.
tough and all this, but they want to be loved on. And that's all they need.
And see,
encourage them.
Go ahead.
Encourage them. Find out the schools in your area when they got an honors program. Show up.
Right.
Sometimes you may be the only adult that shows up for these kids.
True.
Parents are having to work. Some parents 2 and 3 jobs. You sitting at home. Okay, I can't go to the school. Go on the front porch while they walk into school. How many of us do that?
Come on, y'all. Y'all hear what she's saying, right?
Stand out there on the front porch and say, Joyce, have a good day. Tie your shoes up. You know how to tie your shoes.
Right.
Make good choices today.
Come on, Miss Coleman. You finna have me in here misty-eyed. Look. Because I'm going to tell you, when we have events, and we were having a lot of events, you would always show up. And not only would you show up, you have your babies with you too.
Yes. I'm teaching my children that you have to give back.
Right.
I'm teaching grandchildren now. They're my children, but
right.
they're grandchildren. You have to give back. That's the only way we can make it. I once heard somebody say a closed hand you can't give or receive. That's the same way it is with our hearts.
Yes, ma'am.
I got one granddaughter. She like, Granny, you know everybody. No, I don't. But I want to let people know they're important.
Right.
I don't have to know you personally, but because you get up and you send your child to school, you're important. Because your child gets up and comes to school, that child is important. And the way we receive them in the morning is the way their day is going to go.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. I was one before I started working in the district. I never came to the board meetings. Every time, because I used to listen to 88.5 all the time. And when the board meetings would come on, I would change the channel. But when I started working here and actually started going to the meetings, they're very informative, especially if you have nieces, nephews, children, grandkids in the district. Kind of speak to the parents and let them know how important it is, because there are some parents who don't even come to the meetings, don't even listen, but will be the first person to jump and say, the school district ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. How important to those who are not coming to the meetings that should come?
And even if you can't come,
you can listen.
We're very fortunate to have a radio and TV station that's owned, not leased, not borrowed, but owned by Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Yes, ma'am.
So, that saying, we leave people without an excuse.
Yes.
If you want to know, you have 3 opportunities. You have the committee meeting. That means when you come out, we the board members come out. And everything that we're going to talk about at the business meeting, we discuss it. Why is it so much for a roof? We put windows in the building, but we didn't do this. That's discussed then. That's your first opportunity. Then you can come out to the work session where all those questions that the board members have asked in committee, now the superintendent and her team will come back with the answers to those questions. Now the third one is the last Tuesday. That's our board business meeting. You want to know, well, what are they spending money on? How is this? Why was this money allocated for this and not for that? Come to the meeting. We give 30 minutes at the beginning of the meeting for parents, anybody to come up and say what they need to say. It's limits on what you can say.
Yes, it is.
You know, you can't come up because you're mad at a teacher.
Right.
Call that teacher's name out. There is a process. But see, we even going to start explaining the process. If you have a grievance, how do you get it resolved?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to know, did we implement something or pay for something, and when will it be complete? We're working
good.
with our superintendent that gives us stages.
That's good.
If a roof should be put on Dunbar, it started September the 25th. In 3 months, well, we laid all the, I don't know what all it is for the roof, but
Right.
we put all the wood down.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're trying as hard as we can to make it where we're as transparent as
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can be.
Is that something new, doing it that
That's
way?
something new, yes.
So what are some of the things that you see that you're looking forward to this school year, some things that you may be looking forward to, some changes that you might be able to speak on, or something that you can give us on that side?
Well, I spoke to some of my board members last night, and we're going to be more active in the community. The board members are.
Yes, ma'am.
I was speaking with Commissioner Otay, and there's a need for immunizations in her district. Well, it's probably more than just her district.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to work on getting the health department to the area. You know, we got to do better about allowing excuses to stop us.
Yes, ma'am.
It's getting cool. Why we can't take a Saturday, go sit up in the park and pass out books to kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Just different little things, again, to let our community, let our district know that they matter.
Right.
You know, superintendent has done several things. They went and knocked on doors for students that we didn't have in school.
Mm-hmm.
We still have quite a few students that are not in school now. So the next step is, what are we going to do next? We need to do PSAs. The board members do announcements, whatever we need to do to work together, because we work together very well when we're united.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's all we need to do, is stay united so we can get it done.
That's it. And also it gives the community an opportunity coming to the board meetings to actually see who's the board member in your district.
Yes.
I mean, that's so important, because if you have something that's lacking at your child's school, you need to know the board member.
You need to know
who's over that district and say, well, look, Ms. Coleman is in District 9. Let me go talk to her, you know, or District 7 or whoever. So somebody can come and handle that for you. So I wanted to say this. You are a newly great grandma.
Yes. I tell people in a joking manner that I'm making sure some people have a job with grandchildren and now great-grand. I'm keeping people employed. So,
right.
it's a pleasure. I love it.
So and before we get out of here, Ms. Coleman, I just want to say this about you. I just want to thank you for being the woman that you are on a consistent basis of not changing. Like, you've always been welcoming. You've always been warm. And I said this at the beginning. I mean, when you come up, the smile hits you and you see the smile across the parking lot, and then you catch up with the smile. Because before, when we used to be set up, you used to cover your face like, y'all ain't finna get me. But you still would come over and do an interview, Ms. Coleman, and to see from when you was a board member and now you are the board chair. That's a great thing.
Nobody but God.
And everybody was excited, you know, when you got that position. So I'm going to say, well-deserved. Man, we love you over here. You know what I'm saying?
You are.
And just thank you. But did you have some other things you wanted to say before we get out?
Just that, we, you know, as the large school district that we are, we're not going to get everything right.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to have some ups and some downs. But we got to realize at the end of the day, did I make a difference for a child? And then if I made a difference for a child, how did I impact the educators,
Mm.
the other people in the building? We don't just stop at our teachers, because we got to give thanks to our custodial workers,
Yes, ma'am.
to our
Come
cafeteria
on.
workers, to our GOS. I mean, these buildings, if we just had our teachers in our buildings, it wouldn't be effective.
Right.
So we thank you. And then we thank 88.5, C19, the team here, for making a platform that we can speak on the importance of getting our education for our children.
Yes, ma'am. And we here anytime you want to come. You know, you VIP. Anytime you want to come, music stop, station stop, whatever's going on. If you got anything that you want to get out, if you wanted to just come through, you know we always here.
We're gonna start coming through and doing some Q&A with the community. We're gonna do some stuff. The board is we're busy.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't know they're about to be busier.
You're gonna have to get you another phone. You're gonna have to have a couple phones. Got to get you a couple phones. But thank you again, Ms. Coleman, for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. We finna get back to the music. 88.5. Let's go.